It got cold, Minnesota, quick. Hey, I'm talking about knowing your closing percentage per lead source this morning. Got the autumn colors in the background, so that might be nice. Might not be a super long one because it is colder than this outfit would make sense for. So apparently I could have gotten a little warmer. Minnesota's cold this morning. If you're in Minnesota, dress for it. So something I see with roofers and contractors. By the way, this is What Else Wednesdays. What else you should be doing besides SEO, PPC, and web design in your marketing. And missed the last week because I was in Dallas for an event. But yeah, a lot of people optimize for that lead number. How many leads did we have? And that's a good number. But a better number is how many qualified leads did we have? How many good leads did we have? And so, you know, for instance, we've started to look at that qualified number and make that like the shining light of marketing for ourselves. And I think it's a useful one. A lot of CRMs will allow you to sort by lead source and say, you know, what was my closing rate for Google? What was my closing rate for referral? What was my closing rate for ads? What was my closing rate for Facebook ads? So I feel like that is the first step. It's a good step. And if you have done that and you know it, I'm inviting you to comment below, like, what is your closing percentage? What is your highest closing percentage lead source? For a lot of people, first of all, I actually am asking, so if you want to share, you're watching this later or you're watching it now, throw your highest closing rate lead source in the comments. But for a lot of people, it ends up being referrals. What up, Rocky? How you doing, brother? What up, Eric? Appreciate you guys checking this out. So a lot of people, this can be a conversation too, because that's why I do these lives too. A lot of people that highest closing rate percentage lead source is, drum roll please, referrals. And what does that mean? A lot of times the second highest closing rate is Google. Google organic is usually up there. Google paid ads, you can kind of like, you know, lot higher quantity, a lot higher quantity. Sometimes, you know, those lower ones, Facebook leads, Angie leads, different lead aggregators. Rocky says Google lead is highest intent. I would say 60 to 70% close. That's really good, Rocky. If that's the real percentage, that's crazy. That's very high from what I've seen. I would love to hear anyone else's too. So what does that mean? If for some people, let's say referral leads have the highest closing rate, what does that mean? That's a good question. It's a good starting spot. What's the next question? How can I increase the amount of referrals? And the amount of referrals, is there anything that we can do to increase that? And I have more questions than answers. I will say it's a very good question though. What can we do to increase the amount of referrals? If that ends up being one of your highest closing percentage ones, which is very common. Different things that I've seen work for increasing referrals, and I don't have a roofing company, but I think some of the things we do translate, and I've heard a lot of great things from roofers. Gifting can help increase your closing rate. And I do think influencer type stuff in the community, in your community, my wife and I were talking about this last night, and we were talking about if more people could try, and this is an experiment, so I'm not saying I've proven this, could try things like using mommy bloggers, talking to mommy bloggers, gifting them something $200 or $300 to share your company in your area. They, 5,000, 10,000 followers in a location. Maybe they do a lot of restaurants or things like that on Instagram or what have you. But yeah, I'm gonna move this way. Repeat customers is our highest close rate. There you go. That's a good one. So that's a good one, Eric. What can we do to increase repeat customers, right? And I think, I say gifting. We have our OG client here in Minnesota who does brownies after a deal, after a roof is put on. That I think is a kind of an increase referrals thing. And then I think the other thing is, what about higher price gifting? Like, is there a way to increase like if somebody is referring you a lot of things, a lot of deals, could you get them something nice? Could you do something very specific to them that increases the likelihood that they'll continue to do that? You're kind of pushing into your highest close lead source, or your highest percentage close lead source. Rocky says, ask them, and year after year touches and mailers for rewards referral program. Agreed. So those are the types of things. A lot of people do not have these things in place, do not have any kind of referral rewards program in place. If you can get things like that, I think it's huge. Yes, I talk about what is your highest percentage close rate lead source. And I think I'm really just asking you to look in your CRM today. That's the whole live. The live is about look in your CRM, look at which close rate or which lead source has the highest close rate, sort by that. Not just the quantity of leads. Because quantity of leads could indicate that you haven't put a lot of effort into that particular lead source. But if you have one with 50 and one with 300, but the 51 that closes at a much higher rate, maybe you could push into that this next year. This is a great question for forming what could be a great marketing strategy for this next year. And some of it, people think they can't increase referrals. Hoodie bro, Scoville, we had to get new hoodies because this is supposed to be the other way, so that because you're not normally wearing a hoodie, right? You're not normally wearing this. So this is supposed to be upside down and it's not. So I got to get a new batch. I'm going to send you one out of the new batch. Chris, appreciate you, brother. Jim Johnson, what up? So are you looking at your closing rate per lead source? I think you might be excited to try this today. So Peed source, you're just pissing leads. Did I spell that wrong? Oh no. Eric Richardson says Google Organic is over 50% leads at 24.91% close. Referrals next at 27% close. At 27% at 42.77% close. Yeah, that's a pretty referral. Usually ends up being really high. Cody says, I have to assume it would be SEO since the customer went to your website and researched you, that and the next door referrals. I'll get to that, Jim. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, 47% or 42.77%, Eric. That's crazy. And that's beautiful. Cody, you'd think that, wouldn't you? Because I'm a Google guy, but I'm actually not saying Google. I'm saying a lot of people that are going to do this are going to see that it's referrals. Now, if I got the plug in there for Google, if you want me to, it's, hey, if you get more Google leads, that increases your network, which then will increase referrals. So I don't just want somebody to get one lead from Google and that's it. I want them to get one lead from Google and turn it into a couple referrals. Am I right? So that's why continuing to expand that is good. Now people, some people, let's say they plateau at a certain level, 10 million or something, 20 million, and they just live off referrals. I don't usually see people go past that 10 million that have that I live off referrals mindset. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen a ton of it. Isaac Smith, hey Tim, what up, brother? This guy is a killer on the standing seam metal. Isaac, dude, your craftsmanship blows my mind, brother. You and your team. Guys, go look at Isaac Smith. Go look at Isaac Smith's standing seam metal projects. They're just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Hey guys, I love talking about referral percentages and closing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should be talking about. All I'm asking you to do is go in your CRM, look at your last, maybe 9 months, figure out what your highest closing percentage things are, and double down. Layer on, double down. And that's it. I hope you guys are having a good one. Thank you. Bye.